Mepham is present and correct. With me in the studio now, Tony, good evening.
Good evening.
Well, quite a day in the Canada Life Premier League. Heck of a lot of goals in one match, but four crucial goals in another. Croit Lowy, unbelievable result this, really. Russian United 4, St George's 0.
Absolutely cracking result, and Russian have got a great team, there's no doubt about that, but you just thought with St George's drawing last week and not necessarily under pressure, but you know, Chris has a habit of sort of give them a kick up the backside and get them going again, but today that's a huge result for Russian because that puts them right back in the mixer, as well with St George's. They'll start looking now and actually saying what's going wrong here, because you know, to concede 7 goals in 2 games is unheard of,
and drop 5 points as well.
And drop the 5 points is unheard of. The odd time they drop one, and all it's doing is giving the teams that are sort of chasing them behind a bit of belief in themselves. And today it was 1-0 at half-time. Josh Kelly with a goal from 40 yards. Then Mikey Williams made it 2-0. Tom Doherty, who's transferred back to Russian from Castletown, made it 3. And then an own goal by Sean Quay to complete the scoring. Fantastic result, absolutely brilliant. Paul Jones will be delighted with that one. And Russian will be going on now to see if they can gather more momentum, get the points on the board, and see if they can take that title away from St George's. We'll
just have a little look quickly at the top of the table and what that result means. St George's have been leapfrogged by Peel, who won convincingly today. So Geordies are now in 3rd place, having played 8 matches. They've got 19 points. Russian have drawn to within a point of St George's in 4th place. They've played 8 also with 18 points. Peel are in 2nd, played 10 for 22 points. And Corinthians, top still, played 11 with 25 points. So it's given Corinthians and Peel a little bit of breathing room as well, with St George's dropping those 3 points. Geordie's still with games in hand, but the gap remains, or has grown, in fact.
It has grown, but I just think Corinthians, that result today, that's a massive hit for them. They'll be so down on that one, because we'll come to that, or we'll pick it up now.
Yeah, let's go for that one now.
Corinthians were 3-0 up at half-time and looking okay. They weren't playing well. They were down a few numbers today, but when I heard the score at half-time, 3-0, I thought they've done really well to get those sort of 3 goals. Dan Simpson got 1, Ryan Burns and Sean Doyle. And then in the second half, it all went wrong. Phil Kelly, who stepped in today, Cameron Lee wasn't available. Phil came in. Phil's a good player, but Phil got injured, and then suddenly they're playing with a midfielder forward, Blaine Slattery, as centre-back. And not Blaine's fault, it's just one of those, isn't it, where people are used to playing with each other. And then James Murphy got 2 goals, that puts it back to 3-2. And then I think it was near towards the end of the game, John Haggerden, who transferred from St John's this week to St Mary's, got the winner in his first game at the club. So St Mary's would be delighted with that, but Corinthians, that's 2 huge points lost, and that could prove very costly at the end of the season.
First draw of the season in the league for Corinthians. Peel, though, no such trouble. They ran out 10-3 winners. Lee Gale, the star for them today, with 4 of those goals. 2 coming, I think it was the first 7 minutes. I think the 5th and the 7th minute or something. Yeah,
that's the way to do it. To set your stall out right from the start. And as I said at lunchtime, tricky pitch to play on, small, but they were 4-0 up at half-time. Lee Gale with 4, Billy Kenyock got a couple of goals, Daniel Bell got 1, Sean Kelly with 2, and Johnny Shields with the other one. For Douglas Athletic, it was William Panholrick with 2, and Daniel Pennington with the other one, and all those goals were scored in the second half.
Just had another result in the football. Thanks very much to who texted that in. It's Onken 3, Michael 2. We've got the scorers for Onken as well, so thank you very much for sending those in. Right, so yeah, that puts Peel in 2nd place. Like I said, having leapfrogged St George's, so they'll be happy with that. The other 2 matches to take place today, a basement club, Douglas Royal, got, let me just double check, a first league win of the season against Braddon, 3-1 at home.
Yeah, and takes them off of the bottom of the table as well, because Ramsey are now bottom. Great result for them, 2-0 at half-time. Gavin Gorman won. Gav always comes up with the goods for them. But one of the rising stars in Manx football, and also in Douglas Royal, is Jack Kamada, Junior Ireland International. He got 2, made the points safe for Douglas Royal. We're not too sure who got Braddon's goal. If you could, please text us through 166 177.
And finally, Laxey 3, Colby 0.
it was a game that Colby, I think, went into this and thought we can get something from this game with that result that they had last week against St Mary's. And the first half was pretty even. Stan Manning scored a good goal to give Laxey the lead at half time, but then in the second half, Stan scored an absolute belter of a second one. Good ball through to him, and he looked up to see where the keeper was. He was off his line, and a nice little chip over the top nestled in the goal to make it 2-0. And then Sean Gavin got the third midway through the second half as well. So great result for Laxey. Everyone will be happy with that one. And I think with Colby, from what I saw today, it's going to be tight for them. They've got the players up front. I like the running of Dan Lane, but he needs some help. He's a little bit short on supply for him. Defensively, they looked all right. I know they conceded 3, but it's just that feed from midfield up front where they need to, I think, work on things. And it showed today with those 3 points going to Laxey.
And that win has put Laxey up into 5th place, thanks to the draw between St John's and Old Boys last night, which was not good for either of those sides. That put them both on 15 points. Laxey's win today has put them on to 16, so they're a point ahead now in 5th place. A couple more messages in. This is a good one. Lee Gale's 4 goals today moved him to 10th place in Peel's all-time top goal scorers. He's got 189 in 273 appearances.
He's slack, isn't
he? Two goals every 3 games or something as an average. That's pretty
something like
pretty
that.
fine.
And what's Lee now? I'll take a guess, about 26, 25, 26, something like that. So still plenty of time, and to be 10th leading goal scorer takes some doing. So no, he's a good player.
Very good, very good. Okay, moving into JCK Division 2. Polrose United started the day top, level on points with Castletown, but a superior goal difference, and the two teams matched scores today. They both won 7-2. Castletown away to Union Mills, Polrose away to Douglas and District.
We'll look at Polly first because at the top of the table, and all the hard work was done in the first half. They were 5-0 up. Barry English, the star of the show today, he got a hat-trick. David Priestnell, Mark Priestnell got a goal apiece. Nathan Yates and also Stevie Glover. Douglas and District got their 2 goals in the second half, and they were both scored by Daniel Stewart Clegg. And Castletown as well, all their work was done in the first half, 4-1 up. Alex Crawley with a hat-trick, Josh Duncan with a hat-trick as well, and his first goals for the club, so not too sure where he's come from. Might have unearthed a little gem there. And Richard Holmes got the other one. For Union Mills, it was Luke Booth who got one from the penalty spot, and James Lace got the second one.
Thank you very much, Tony. Right, well done those ones. Sorry, I'm just reading some messages on the screen as well. 3rd place today, Foxdale. Didn't play. Ramsey Youth Centre 4th. Started the day 4th. Anyway, they've gone up to 3rd now, thanks to scoring 6 in the Northern Derby against Ayr United.
Yeah, they'd be happy with that one. It gives them bragging rights and gets them back on track as well, because that's a real confidence booster with those 6 goals. Louis Moran with there too. Steve Gross got one, Declan Cummins and Aidan Cummins. And Ayr didn't help matters neither, because they scored an own goal, which made that emphatic victory 6-0 to Ramsey Youth Centre.
And 2 more matches which saw shutouts. Moran beat Maloo 4-0 away, and Onken won 5-0 away against Michael United.
Yeah, that's a convincing result for Moran. They led at half-time 2-0. Joey Rothwell with 2. Ashley Higginbottom on the score sheet again. And Sean Shimon, what a good week it's been for him. Not only a goal, but he passed his driving test as well. So everyone who's given him a lift, by all means, if you're out drinking late at night, just give Sean a ring, because he owes you a few lifts to get yourself back home.
Another message.
Cause some grief.
Yeah, I'm sure. Michael combination scorers, thank you. We've got those now. They said it's a great game in tough conditions. Onken did well to get the game on, and the referee did well as well. Taylor Andrews with Royals 3rd at 16 this week, and senior debut today, according to Mr. Feeney.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Fino.
Yeah.
Rather strange message here suggesting that Manx Radio is St George's fan club, which is obviously drivel. Let's see. Well done to Mary's great character. Corinthians played some great stuff, but are very young.
Yeah, it is a young team. Well, that's
a bit
why.
Of naivety.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think Danny was under pressure today because Steve Whitley wasn't available, Cameron Lee wasn't available. You've also got Danny Oram wasn't there. but the combination players are good enough. Yes, they're young, but they're good enough. And Danny brought them in, and that's all you can do is you get on with the team of players that you've got. And it's a shame, Phil Kelly. I hope he's okay, because Phil's a good player, but character by St Mary's, it's brilliant. They had the 2 good results, then they had the blip last week against Colby, and then they've bounced back against the league leaders today by scoring 3 goals in the second half. 3-0 down to come 3-3. That takes some doing.
We'll move into the combination leagues and just go through some of the results there. Top of Combi 1, Russian, they drew 2-2 with St George's, Tony.
Yeah, I'll just backtrack on one we've missed. Michael 0, Oncom 5
oh, thank
in
you. Yes,
Division
of course.
2.
Sorry.
Chris Asbridge with a couple of goals. Andy Asbridge got the other one. Jack Powell and James Rice, who this time last week was putting the gloves on to play for the Junior Island team, in goal. And it's funny, for his club, he plays outside and he's a good player too. It showed again he can score goals. He did that recently against Paul Rose. But back to Canada Life Combination 1, and as you were saying, Russian, who are the league leaders, well, today had to work really hard for a point. They were 1-0 up at half time. Jake Kelly with a goal, Ryan Crawley got the other one. But for St George's, it was Tom Chattel, another Junior Island player, and Ryan Kelly. And from what I'm hearing, I'm sure the text message will put us right if I'm wrong, is that Russian were very lucky in this game. St George's put in a great performance with a lot of young players as well.
James Russell, bear with us. We will get downstairs and let you in when we do an ad break. I've seen a message from James. And another message here. What's this from? Everton Royals double, an unprecedented Saturday. 5 16-year-olds playing today, and we're superb in a great victory. 5 16-year-olds in the first team. That's good going, that, isn't it?
It is good going, and we knew that at the start of the season. We've documented it quite a few times that they had some good young lads there who were 15. But until they're 16, obviously they can't play senior football. But they've done what they needed to do, Douglas Royal, today. They had to take the points away from teams that are near the bottom. I don't think Braddon will get involved in the relegation, but that win is huge. And there's a real sort of run of fixtures now. The bottom teams playing each other over the next couple of weeks. And I think we'll have a rough idea by the end of December who is looking likely to be relegated into Division 2.
Okay, going back into Combination 1. So Russian drew today. That's their first points dropped of the season. So it's taken them 13 matches. That's the 100% record gone. Corinthians, who started the day in second place, they've closed the gap to 7 points with their 4-0 win at St Mary's. At home to St Mary's. And Old Boys, who were in third place, they had a convincing win against St John's as well. But Peel drawing also, so a bit of ground lost there. And looking at Combination 2, JCK Combination 2, Ramsey Youth Centre were top at the start of the day, also with a 100% record after 10 matches. They've maintained that with a 7-3 victory against Ayr United, Tony. And Onken won as well. Castletown, though, who were in third place, they went down 5-2 at Union Mills, having led, was it 2-1 at half time? It
was 2-1, but if we can just go back to Combination 1, just give the goal scorers a mention, if we can. And Corinthians 4, St Mary's 0, 2-0 at half time. Adam McCulloch, Andy Williamson, and 2 goals by young Jack Ridings. That's a real good day for him. We'll look at, we've done St George's Russian, but Old Boys 5, St John's 1. Haven't got St John's goal scorer, but for Old Boys, Dean France with 2, Nigel Moody, David Quirk and Mike Booth. Peel 1, Douglas Athletic 1. Good point that for Athletic. Liam Dawson scored their goal in the first half, just like Aaron Castaigne did from the penalty spot. But Colby Laxey, a bit of a story there. Laxey were 2-0 up at half time. Michael Fernandez with all the goals for Laxey. Paul Callow, you need to look at him for your first team, I think. But I'm not telling him his job. And just going through.
I think you just did.
Just looking at the Combination 2 goal scorers. Moran 2, Malou 5, 1-0 to Malou at half time. Matthew Kane and Paul Timpson scorers for Moran. Castletown 2, Union Mills 5, we've touched on that one. Castletown actually led at half time, 2-1. JD Mitchell and Jack Thompson with the goals. Lee Christian with 3. Kai Stevenson and Ashley Bovington Down was the other goal scorer for the Millers. We're still looking for that Foxdale Jim's result. I don't think that's come in yet. Porose cracking result, 6-2 against Douglas and District.
6-3, I think.
6-3, sorry.
Yep.
4-2 at half time. Owen Canoper with 3. Ollie Taylor, Ben Sinclair and Jack Townsend for Douglas and District. It was Conrad Kuma, Kevin Doyle and Dylan Quayle. and Ayr 3, Ramsey Youth Centre 7, 5-0 to Youth Centre half time. Martin Murphy with 3, one of them probably the quickest goal of the day, 2 to 3 seconds. We haven't got the exact
straight from
time.
the kick-off, I was told,
Boom.
and the guy that phoned it in said it was, he hit the kick-off, so it must be 2 to 3 seconds, I guess.
Exactly. Tony Collett got 3 as well. Sonny Murphy, is it Murphy?
Murphy
got the other one for Ramsey Youth Centre, and as that result came in, I don't know if you've got the scorers.
Yes,
Onken 3, Michael 2.
3, Michael 2, Ed Batty, Rob Byrne and Billy Coulter for Onken, and Jordan McClellan and a Ryan Brew penalty for Michael. Thank you, Tony. That's
My
where
pleasure.
we'll leave the football this evening.